the future of cryptocurrency, where this disruptive technology is heading. Okay, some current issues which need solving. Bitcoin is currently having scalability, cost, and speed issues. The cost of transactions at the time of recording this, I think they're around about $10, and that's per transaction. And as I mentioned before, a few months ago, they were as high as $50 per transaction. The speed issues, Bitcoin transactions are quite slow at the minute. So Bitcoin itself, it's like I said before, it's the granddaddy of the cryptocurrency world. It's the main brand. So it's always very important. Anything that goes on with Bitcoin, it makes the news. It's what people are really interested in. But I do believe this is just a temporary problem, and these Bitcoin issues will be solved in the near future. Some of the altcoins that are out there, these are the alternative cryptocurrencies to Bitcoin. So that's really any cryptocurrency that's not Bitcoin itself, are already solving these issues. And there's quite a few altcoins out there that are more scalable, very, very cost effective, with tiny transaction fees of just 1 or 2 cents or even less, and are much faster. So solutions are out there, and I'm sure they'll make their way to Bitcoin at some point. Fundamentally though, I believe that blockchain technology will change the world. There's a lot of reasons why blockchain technology is just truly amazing, and I'll mention some problems that blockchain does solve in a second. We talked about them in a previous lecture, but I'll just reiterate them because this is very important, just to keep in mind what blockchain technology can achieve when you're thinking about the future of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So another thing about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin, it's not going anywhere, and it really cannot be shut down. And the reason I say that is because it is decentralized, distributed. There's no central point of trust, so there's no central point of failure. So if you wanted to shut, say, Bitcoin down, for example, you'd have to shut down thousands of servers, and I think it's 5,000 or 6,000 servers that run Bitcoin at the moment, and I think there's even more than that. So really, to shut down cryptocurrencies, you would have to shut down the entire internet, and that's really not going to happen. So whatever happens with cryptocurrency, I really don't think it's going anywhere. I think it's staying with us for good. Just remember, when we think about the problems that cryptocurrencies do solve, just remember the unbanked billions from a previous lecture. You've got billions of people in the world that are currently unbanked, no access to banking or very little access to banking. Cryptocurrencies can completely solve that, and that's quite amazing in itself. Other problems that blockchain in general solves already are cross-border transactions between different countries. I mean, I mentioned these in a previous lecture. It was an early lecture, and I just want to get these across to you just to keep in mind when you're thinking about the future of cryptocurrencies. Just keep these 5 or 6 points in mind. Cross-border transactions will be transformed by cryptocurrencies. Transparency and traceability. That's the blockchain, because it's available to anybody to see the transactions on the internet. You can go to blockchain.info, which will give you all the details of different transactions and the amounts and where they went to and from. So there's a whole load of transparency with the software as well, because the software is largely open source. So there's complete transparency into how cryptocurrency code works, and that just breeds trust and traceability. And the increase in privacy too. And what I mean by that, even though the blockchain is very transparent, you can see all the transactions on there, you think, well, how is that private? Well, because your personal details are not kept there. So all you'll see is these addresses, these long addresses, maybe up to 40 characters long, that we've seen in a previous lecture. That's what you see on the blockchain. You don't see personal, you don't see the names of the person or the addresses or any personal details. So that's where the privacy comes from. There's a lack of discrimination. So anybody can send cryptocurrency from anywhere in the world to anywhere in the world. There's no discrimination. It doesn't matter who you are, how much money you've got. The fees are the same. The speed of the transactions are the same. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire or you've got just a few cents in your account. It doesn't matter. There's no discrimination with the blockchain. And there's no trusted third party such as a bank to be able to discriminate and block your transactions and tell you what you can and can't do and charge you extortionate fees. That can't happen with blockchain technology. So cryptocurrency as an investment for the future. Bitcoin itself has seen some tremendous growth in previous years and some equally tremendous crashes. So in short, no one really knows what's going to happen long term, but I really think that Bitcoin is going to grow in the future. That the previous history has grown substantially on balance. The short term is highly volatile. If you just look at the Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, just look at the charts for the market prices, you'll see that it is highly volatile. So short term, I think highly volatile. Long term, I hope to see some serious growth, but you just never know. Some altcoins are likely to make it big, so be careful, because you've got Bitcoin, which is the main big brand, and you've got, say, 800 or more at the time of recording. There's 800 or more alternative coins, and let's be honest, they're not all going to make it. So some are going to make it big, the ones who've got the real product, the good team behind them, the unique selling point, a great service, and they solve specific problems. Those ones, if you can identify those, they're probably going to make it big, but the rest will probably disappear in the next few years, because 800 plus cryptocurrencies can't all survive. And there's more being created all the time with ICOs, initial coin offerings of new coins with new ideas, new products. So altcoins are quite a high risk investment. But for investing in the future, just remember rule number one: only invest what you can afford to lose, because you might actually lose it. So this course has covered quite a lot, but it isn't really investment advice. So you have to DYOR, it means do your own research, as I say, because I can't describe and research 800 plus cryptocurrencies and try and give you investment advice into which ones to invest in. So I would just recommend look at the cryptocurrencies, go read the white papers, go to the websites, do some research. I'd stick with the high market cap ones for the less risk, and the lower market cap ones for the more potential growth but higher risk, and just look at the coins that really appeal to you and the ones you understand the most, and the ones that have the products and the teams and solve real world problems. Again, not really investment advice, just some tips on how you could go about choosing what to invest in for the future.